Hand it over to Alex Viguiatora on the Back Talk set.
Thanks, Ben. Welcome to Back Talk. I'm Alec Vigliatora. Joining me today is Matt Magavro and the ancient, but experienced Jimmy Young. The big story today, Jim Rice getting inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. What's your take on this, guys? Do you believe that he should be in there?
I do. I mean, I think it's overdue. 15 years is too long a wait for Jim Rice. I think he has the numbers in some places, and you talk to anybody who back then, he was the most feared hitter in baseball, by far. So.
Well, since I'm the only one on this set that actually saw him play from his rookie year on, he was the most dominant player of his era, the most feared. And you guys know one of the reasons why I watch sports is to see something I've never seen before.
That's the reason a lot of people watch sports.
Absolutely. Bob Ryan, for instance.
Excitement.
The excitement, and that's what it's about, the theater. He did something in Detroit one night I've never seen before and may never see again. He actually checked his swing and broke the bat in his hand. Now, this was when wood was wood, too, by the way, guys, as opposed to what they're playing with now.
Well, now you got 5 broken bats.
That's right. This was an incredible thing, and he would hit the baseball harder than anybody in that era. And that one year, 1978, when he had 400 total bases, never been done since. He hit a ball off the back wall of Fenway Park above the camera stand in center field, probably one of the hardest hit, longest balls ever hit out of Fenway Park. This guy should have been in the Hall of Fame 10 years ago.
Yep.
It's a crime that it took 15 years. And I point the finger at those baseball writers out there. You know who you are that kept him up because they thought Jim was a little surly.
Yeah, it became more of a political thing because the baseball writers are doing it, and he never had a great relationship with the baseball writers. Coming from Boston in the 70s, a big kind of racial impact in that matter of speaking. But I believe he should have been in a long time ago. And his numbers say for himself. I mean, you can compare it to Willie Stargell.
Yeah, Willie Stargell. Pops. They call him Pops.
We'll call him Pops. Like
call him Pops. It's a lot easier to say.
We can say Snacks Crackles too.
Okay.
And with almost a 300 batting average, which a lot of people would kill for.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big feat. He was one of the most feared hitter in the non-steroid era that we know of. There was no testing.
Right.
So I think he should have been there a while ago.
Yep.
Absolutely. And think about this, guys. Over, I think it was 4 decades, you had Ted Williams in left field, followed by Carl Yastrzemski in left field, followed by Jim Rice in left field. 3 Hall of Famers.
Followed by Manny.
No, Mike Greenwell actually was in there before that, and
that is correct.
I like Greeny.
The Gator.
I like Greeny, and he used to come on my show. I love saying that. Anyway, 3 Hall of Famers. Great story. Very lucky. I wore 14 in baseball because of Jim Ed Rice. Believe me, they didn't fear me though when I came to the plate. They laughed a lot. Actually, is what they did. But
you looked up to him. That's the important.
I did look up to him. I looked up to him as a leader. You know what? He was kind of misunderstood as a player. He was very quiet. He came from the rural South, and he came into a city that was in racial turmoil. You mentioned that, Alec.
Yeah, in the mid-'70s.
In the mid-'70s during busing, and it was an awkward time for any black athlete, and certainly the first superstar black athlete on the Red Sox.
On the Red Sox. Well, Tom Yawkey, the owner,
was a racist plantation owner. Okay, so
did he own a plantation?
Yes, he did, and that's where he.
I never knew that.
He hung out with Ty Cobb a lot too, so that helps. Well, not helped, but.
And you know what? The induction shouldn't be. It shouldn't matter on that. It shouldn't matter what his relationship was or what his attitude was. It should be the numbers, and
what kind of a player he was, and was he dominant in his era?
Exactly.
And that's really what it came down to: is he is, and I'm really glad that Jim Ed Rice is in the Hall of Fame.
Finally.
That's right.
And one pitcher was quoted saying that he was the most feared hitter in baseball. Every time he stepped in the batter's box, he was scared to pitch to him. And every time he got Jim Rice out, it was like a pitcher hitting a home run. To use that analogy, that's how good he was. That's how feared he was in his era. I mean, he led the Red Sox to the World Series in his rookie year.
Yes, and then got hurt before the '75 World Series. People forget that. If Jim Rice was in that lineup in '75, the Red Sox wouldn't have won that series 3-4.
You said the Red Sox won the series.
They did. Oh, you didn't know that? Because the Red Sox won 3 more exciting games than the Reds won, so Red Sox fans do not believe that they lost in '75. They won that series 3-4. Again, another lesson perspective here. And one more thing about Jim Rice. I think he still holds the record for grounded into double plays, which is kind of a shame.
I think that someone actually broke that.
Well, that'd be good if they did, because it was kind of it was sad for me because that was certainly at the end of his career.
It was sort of
but he's an aggressive hitter.
We can compare that to Brett Favre. He has the most touchdowns, but he also has the most interceptions.
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can't have one without the other. So.
I'm
just putting that analogy out there.
I don't want to hear about Brett Favre again.
In and out.
Sorry.
But
that's when he was good, though. Not an old man. Sorry, Brett. But yes, Jim Rice. We can compare him to Brett Favre, except we can't. But he actually quit when he was done. He was done. He knew it. He didn't try to come back.
Exactly right. And that is by far the toughest decision any pro athlete has to make is when is it done? Kind of like this segment. It's done, Alex.
Yeah.
It's done now. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me on this. One of the cool things about YSA is that we can go out and we can meet teams, we can meet players, and Connor Pertain got the opportunity to meet members of the Paw Sox, and we have this feature for you. Connor?